What's up, guys? Welcome back to Tune In No Crust, giving you the hottest info about your favorite car shows. Today, we're looking at the Fast and Furious again. Wait, that's not what this is about. No, that title is not a typo. There was a car show called Fat and Furious Rolling Thunder that aired in the 2010s. What happened to that? The show had quite a fan base. Is there any chance it will return?
Looks like you're struggling a
You're
little
gonna
bit.
get the ticket, not me.
Don't let it cut off your circulation, man.
If I start turning blue, you'll have to like breathe in my mouth and do that chest compression stuff.
You're gonna die, because I ain't getting nowhere close to your mouth.
I've already welcomed people back, so if you haven't already, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and stick around for some fun discussion topics in the comments. Title confusion aside, what's the show like? Airing from 2014 to 2016 on the Discovery Channel, Fat and Furious follows the format of many other car restoration shows that we've covered on this channel. People bring in cars that they want to be restored, often so that they can race them. The mechanics at Christmas Automotive Repair then do their best to bring classic muscle cars back to life and make them kick ass. As the host said before every episode,
The faster they are, the fatter the paycheck.
and the only thing these guys enjoyed more than fast cars was fast food.
Oh, I made a mess.
That said, Fat and Furious was less about aesthetics and more about performance. Many people brought cars to the shop so that they could race them. Others were scrap that needed to be made roadworthy. The show emphasized that racing vehicles were a Midwestern thing, giving it a flavor that other car shows didn't have. This wasn't Pimp My Ride. Those cars were built to drive. So, who were the men behind the machines? The show had four main crew members. Thomas "Tommy" Christmas was the owner of Christmas Automotive Repair. As the manager, he called most of the shots, but he was also extremely passionate about race cars. He made his passion his life's work. Despite seeming distant to some people in his life, everyone at the shop knew Christmas was always a sucker for a good story and a cream puff at heart. Steve McGranahan was described as the muscle on the show. He handled anything heavy in the shop. Remember his status as the strong man of the crew. It'll be important later. Andy Pivarnik was the negotiator. As Chuck explains, he goes out, cuts deals, and brings back cars for us to fix up and flip. He appraises vehicles that people want to sell, factoring in things like condition and critical parts into the price. Finally, Chuck Kountz was simply listed as tech. Aside from his aptitude for handling wires and other electrical problems, he and Steve were known for eating the most out of the bunch.
Hey, we eat a lot.
All the guys also knew their stuff, especially Tommy. Every episode contained a mini history lesson about the vehicle the guys were going to work on. If you're the type of person who wants to learn something new every day, why not make it about cars? But Fat and Furious had a few things going for it besides the cool rides. The staff dynamic at the shop was great. The guys were funny, genuine, and relatable. And even if they started swearing, things never got too adult. When the show ended, people wrote about how families had bonded by watching Fat and Furious together. It was wholesome in a way that few other car shows were. Most importantly, Christmas cared about every car that came in. More often than not, the vehicles the shop worked on had some sort of story behind them. For example, a father wanted to pass his racing '64 Ford to his son, and several cars were meant to honor dead loved ones. The show feels human. No wonder the Discovery staff rejoiced when Fat and Furious was renewed for a second season. There was also a heartfelt storyline between Christmas and his teenage son that culminated beautifully in the Season 3 finale. More on that later. As I said earlier, Fat and Furious aired from 2014 to 2016 on Discovery Channel. It can currently be accessed on streaming services like Amazon Prime and Google Play. Its short run consisted, depending on who you ask, of 2 or 3 seasons. IMDb and streaming services only list 2 seasons, but most news sources say there were 3 seasons in total. Fat and Furious not getting a 4th season made headlines. It's unclear exactly why Fat and Furious got canceled. The assumed reason was low ratings. It was always an underdog show. Online reviews were, and still are, mixed. Some people love it because there's very little swearing, but others hate it for not being technical enough. The initial views on the first episode weren't great, but once it got going, the fan base couldn't be stopped. It could also partially be the network's fault. Discovery did not promote this show very much compared to, say, Street Outlaws. I have some videos on that too, so check them out after this. The show still didn't do badly, and really the fans couldn't have asked for a better final episode. How good was it? The show had always made a point about every car having a story. It ended with Christmas wanting to restore his old 1965 Ford. He then raced it on the Quaker City Strip to fulfill a childhood dream. The show ended with the shop owner's story. But maybe more importantly, Christmas finally admitted that he was proud of his son. After the episode aired, mail about how many viewers also had emotionally distant fathers poured in. The finale of the third season was a fitting end to the entire series. What did you think of that final episode? Let the world know in the comments below. Regardless of where the guys are now, it seems like it ended on the perfect note. Christmas had said in the past that he wouldn't object to doing the show again if the opportunity came up. No word from the other three Musketeers. On that note, where did the guys go after the show had been cancelled, or at least not renewed? Some of these answers will surprise even longtime fans of this channel, so strap in. Tommy Christmas and his wife still run an auto repair shop in Youngstown, Ohio. It's very easy to find, Google, and visit. Shows that are filmed in existing car repair shops tend to keep the shop open, so it's no surprise that this place is still in business. Nothing too unusual here. But Andy Pivarnik, one of the shop's original staff members, clearly got bitten by the acting bug. It's a little hard to tell if his theater background was before or after he worked on Cars, but in 2017, he coached for 3 episodes of the halftime TV series. Since then, he's been in several short films and commercials. His IMDb page is way more impressive than some of the other car show hosts who've come and gone. McGranahan also has a reputation beyond the show. The muscle of the shop is now known as World's Strongest Redneck. You can see some of his feats on Facebook. They include bending a spike with his mouth, ripping a license plate with his teeth, and more. He sometimes appears on The Tonight Show with his strongman act. Go check those clips out, you won't believe your eyes. Now, a quick disclaimer before I cover the final member. I don't want to judge anybody for their body. The guys on Fat and Furious were clearly proud of how heavy they were, but that isn't always good for someone's health, especially if they have a chronic condition. That's unfortunately what happened to Chuck Kountz. Shortly before the show ended in 2016, Kountz was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. He details some of the symptoms in his YouTube video on the diagnosis. MS isn't directly caused by obesity. It's a combination of genetic and environmental factors. But somewhere along the line, he probably got the idea that the extra weight wouldn't help his MS and got weight loss surgery. Since then, Kountz has been on a strict diet and exercise routine. As of 2019, he lost 140 pounds and intended to lose at least 40 more. He realizes surgery is only step 1 and is willing to do the rest of the work to keep himself healthy. Again, this was his decision, even if a healthcare professional stepped in. He got stuck on the job often enough. As happy as I'd like to be for Kountz, I tried to find the Fit and Furious YouTube channel he supposedly started. I came up with 2 unrelated channels instead. He has another YouTube channel, but it's very outdated. If his Twitter's any indication, he's doing fine in Oahu, Hawaii, and if any of my viewers are in Hawaii, please send him your muscle car pics on Twitter. So that's where the 4 main members of Fat and Furious are today. Sorry if any of you thought this would be about my favorite movie series, but if you thought the title was a typo, I wouldn't blame you. Google was very confused as I researched the episode. What's the worst or funniest typo you've ever made? Let's knock a certain duck autocorrection out of the running. We've all made that one. Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next big thing. We'll see you next time.